How's it going, everybody? Mathew Owens, California licensed CPA, full-time real estate investor. We have now flipped over 1,000 houses, but it was not always that easy for us to find deals and be able to go out and do these things. I'm here to tell you a little bit about my very first deal in real estate. And they call your first deal real estate crack, because once you get hooked by that deal and making profit on this, you're all about it going forward. You're ready to go and move that forward and get more and more deals after that. And that's basically like crack. You're just nonstop wanting to go get it. So that being said, I was very, very timid at first in the very beginning, and I actually had to get educated massively before I had the confidence to do it. I still remember sitting at my CPA firm job in 2006, and before I went into real estate full time, going into work, wanting to literally cry because I couldn't do tax and audit anymore. Emotionally, I was just done. I couldn't help the government steal people's money anymore through taxes, all that kind of stuff. It was just not my personality to do the same thing over and over and over again. And I was looking for something else. I'm like, should I start a bar? Should I start a restaurant? Could I start my own CPA practice? But then I'm right in that same grind. What do I do to be able to get out of this kind of rat race in my mind? And I read Rich Dad Poor Dad and started understanding the concepts of the different types of income that you should be making, and realized that I am constantly trading my time for money over and over again. And how do you go through and get out of this? And I still remember my stepbrother called me one time and he goes, "Hey, Matt, you got to come check out this course that I just took or I'm about to take right now, and you got to come to this meeting with me and come check it out." And I said immediately, "Well, how much did you pay, dude?" And he said $16,000. And I said, "Oh man, you got jacked immediately. What's wrong with you? You don't pay that kind of money." My mindset was not in paying for the education. Now I've paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for different educational products, different masterminds, things like that, because they're so valuable. But at the time, my mindset was not there. And so finally, I was totally going to flake on him. I said, "Fine, I'll go," but I was going to flake on him anyways. And he calls me the day of, like an hour before. He's like, you have to go. And he got me to go. And it was a real estate course. It was 2 years long type course, and we can go consistently on every aspect of real estate investing. And I said, "Hey, I'm ready to go. Let me focus on this." And about a month later, after learning how the math worked and things like that, I went through and got a deal under contract where I was going to make 30 grand on the flip. It was a duplex in Memphis, Tennessee, and it needed renovation. We were going to renovate it. At the end of the day, we ended up taking this deal down and going through and selling it, and it cost us 10 grand more than we thought it was going to take. It basically took a massive amount of extra effort that we thought, learned a ton during that process. It ended up getting sold and made about $20,000 on that deal. And then I just quit my CPA firm job right at that point. My family thought I was crazy, but I threw myself to the wolves and was like, "I'm done, can't do this anymore." Absolutely important to be able to go through and put yourself in the position that you need to be in. I knew if I had a backstop there, if I had a something to fall back on, that I might fall back versus saying, "No, I'm done. I'm going for it right here." A lot of people might be better served keeping that consistent cash flow going consistently from their job while they build their own portfolio. But I knew I was just done with the CPA firm. I couldn't deal with that anymore. I wanted to bang my head on the computer. It was just absolutely madness. And so I had just quit and threw myself to the wolves like that, and did everything wrong in the beginning. Got an office at the World Trade Center in Long Beach on the 23rd floor for 5 grand a month. Went through and had massive expenses, had low cash flow, did everything wrong from a business perspective afterwards, before I learned my hard lessons, before I went through those trials and tribulations with the market crash and stood back up to start doing those deals. And I started getting volume after I stood back up and after I said, "Hey, that's enough. I'm going to focus on this. Let's go do these joint ventures with investors. We'll keep the lights on this way and do some flips. We'll borrow some capital from hard money lenders and flip deals that way." And to start really getting my my teeth into this stuff and finding deals nonstop. I had to do it because otherwise I wasn't going to have the income to survive and constantly grind forward and find deals. And we were finding, 2, 3, 5 of these things a month in the beginning, and it was keeping the lights on consistently. We would have fee structures built in, and I wish I would have held a lot more of them, but you learn those lessons the hard way. But that very first deal, you learn so much about construction, you gain so much confidence, you build your team right from the start, and being able to get the right team members, even though those team members were not the right team members initially for me. We went through, usually team members are good for a while, and then sometimes they fall off. Sometimes they stick with you long term, and you have a quality person you're working with. So that being said, huge learning curve, but what's most important is it gave me the confidence to stand back up when you get hit. And that is super important for your financial future and being able to actually achieve this stuff going forward and being able to actually create financial freedom in your life and build cash flow streams and build assets that are making you money without you having to trade time for it long term over here. So that is the story of my very first deal. I hope it helped you guys, and I look forward to hearing some feedback from you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the actual notification bell so you guys can see a lot of the different content that I'm coming out with, all to help you guys on different strategies that I use when investing in real estate. Talk to you soon.